Hello, I'm Damawan, Senior Director APAC at GBTA, and I'm joining you here today at the broadcast studio at GBTA APAC Conference 2026 in Singapore. I'm so delighted to have David Hughes, Managing Director for Asia Pacific at Uniglobe Travel International, here with me today. How are you feeling, day two?
I'm great, and I've got to say congratulations on a fantastic event so far. I've really enjoyed being part of here, and the content's been fantastic.
Thank you. We're so grateful for the greater support that we're seeing from the industry these years. And it takes a lot for everyone to come together at this GBTA platform. Now, your session this afternoon, you're going to be covering something around tech and AI, and I'm curious to talk to you about that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, is AI removing the opportunity for TMCs to differentiate on personalization as opposed to low transaction fees?
I think a really interesting way to answer that question is to actually go back a little bit to when the internet started. And I see the internet in terms of particularly corporate travel, it was really a great leveler. So it gave access to smaller TMCs to get technology that previously had been prohibitive to them because it was so expensive and only the large market TMCs had it. It was this great levelling where everybody was able to deliver a similar level of service. And then what came out of that is further differentiation where you got a whole lot of scale and consolidation, and that led to competing on price. But then you still had people who had access to technology who were able to compete on service. And so where I see we are now is another crossroads like we were with the internet. And AI is actually taking away some of the levelling, because the people who have moved fastest into it are some of the biggest operators, but also there's new entrants coming as well. So some smaller agencies are trying to catch up. Mm-hmm. And so what that means is their point of difference, which for the last 5, even 10 years, which has been about high level, high quality service, personalisation, knowing their customers really well, customers, small fish in a small pond, AI removes that, because we can know our customers even better, no matter how many we have, and we can deliver an even higher level of personalisation to it. So I think that this differentiation, which was clear there between price and service, is really evaporating quite fast.
Interesting, because I think the responsiveness and the agility will be key here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So we've seen new entrants and disruptors entering this industry. What does this mean for legacy TMCs?
Yeah, it means pay very close attention to what's going on around you. For a lot of years, particularly corporate travel, has had a bit of a moat around it from other industries where people were investing in technology, simply because low margins, very high cost base. Yeah. So it was easier to invest your money somewhere else and get a much better return than you could out of corporate travel. But now the new platforms that are coming in have solved that, because they're largely microservices platforms. They can plug in lots of different types of technology, deliver a lot of additional services, which are actually more high yielding services. So that means that they're not scared to come in anymore. So they are coming in, and they're coming in droves, and we've seen a few of them already come in, and their point of entry has either been they've partnered with a legacy TMC, or they're just coming in themselves as a platform. So you really need to, if you're not finding a way to move yourself into that space, these people are going to take that space away.
But in a way, would that mean that this will spur the development or growth of legacy TMCs?
Oh, it has to. Yeah. It has to. They have to respond to it, because if they don't, there's just no future for them.
Yep. Will TMC still exist in 5 years' time?
Again, to answer that question, I think it's good to look at something else. So there's a really famous article, I think it was a Harvard Business Review article from the 50s, and it's called Marketing Myopia. And what that article was about the trains at around the turn of the 20th century in the US. So at that time, the companies that ran the trains were the biggest companies in the US. America was still a relatively new country. The trains were about mobility, and so they drove industry and commerce and were very, very important. But within 20 years of that, there was all consolidation, and they hardly existed. And that was because the airlines emerged, and the airlines were able to do it faster, to more locations.
Yeah.
And what really should have happened, and this is the whole point of the article, is the train companies should have become the airline companies, but they didn't move fast enough, and the airline companies came in and took their place.
Right.
So this is what I see as the future for TMCs. They need to be understanding that the way a TMC looks, not even in 3 years' time, next year, has to be entirely different to the way it looks now. The way it interacts with its customer base has to be different, or else the legacy TMCs are going to become the steam trades and the new entrants will become the airlines.
Right. I think the key here will be innovation, right?
It is. It's innovation. It's being open to it. It's also looking at what technology is available. So I said in answer to the first question that there's some restrictions around the cost of the development of some of these technologies, and the bigger TMCs have the deeper pockets and they can do that. But there are a lot of off-the-shelf products. So if people really understand and partner with some of the smaller providers and even startups, we've talked a little bit before about the pitch session that was here. So look at those people and understand what they're offering. And sometimes they're better suited to work with a smaller TMC and create a point of difference, but just make sure that you're not being a railroad, you're actually being an airline.
Right. I mean, I am so looking forward to the innovation in our industry. And, with the Venture Connect that we have at this conference, we'll see what happens in the next 12, 24 months. Thank you so much, David, for joining us here today.
Great to talk with you.
And thank you for joining us. You have been watching the broadcast studio from GBTA APAC Conference 2026 in Singapore. Thank you for joining us.